Okay, today is a little bit of a sad day. We're going to lose one of our aquarium customers, but we've enjoyed the time we've been with them. They've had this tank for about 9 years as a freshwater tank and the last 4 years as saltwater. We've enjoyed it thoroughly, the company of the people, as well as all the new things we learned in the tank. And I thought today that since this is an aquarium reality type show, which shows the good stuff along with the bad stuff, I would take advantage of the opportunity and show you how to take down an aquarium properly. So let's jump into it. I would call this tank a half-wall tank. You can see there's a half wall here, and the tank sits on top of it. We have the canopy system, which contains the lighting, and that's the access into the aquarium. This tank was originally, as I said, a freshwater tank. And it was run with an under gravel filter, which is the grid that sits below the gravel, and it had canister filters inside the tank. That's what ran the whole system, 2 canister filters. When we changed it to saltwater, we modified the filter system by eliminating the under gravel filter. We introduced or created an internal overflow or a standpipe, and then we introduced a wet-dry trickle filter. And as you can see, that's the wet-dry trickle filter. The drain line comes into the top where the drip plate is located. That water in turn rains down over the bioballs, or trickles over the bioballs, hence the name. And then this would be the open portion of the filter, or the reservoir side, and you can see the water level. And there's a submersible pump down inside there that would send the water back up to the top of the tank. It again would spill over the overflow, and in turn come back down into the wet-dry trickle filter. And as I pointed out, it has a canister filter, which in fact still does run in the system. There was at one time 2 canister filters, and since day 1 there's been an ultraviolet sterilizer system in the system as well. To keep the tank warm, we have a canister that holds the heater, and that is fed by this canister filter. So the water passing through the canister filter and the UV sterilizer also passes through the heater module, and that's what controls the temperature of the water in the tank. So the hardest part about taking down any aquarium is the first step, which is turning the power off. And to take water out of the system, we have to unplug the main water pump. Otherwise, it'll just create some additional problems for us.
Moving the fish out of their tank will be stressful enough. Moving them into dirty water would be even worse. So we're going to take some clean salt water out of the tank before we've disrupted anything and move it down into some 5-gallon buckets and have it ready in advance.
Now that we've got the water out of the tank for the fish, we need to take the canopy or the top off the tank so we can have, convenient access, easy access to the top of the tank to get all that stuff out. Start first by pulling the fluorescent lamps out of their little C-clips. And then it's a matter of lifting off the canopy. So now that the canopy is off the top of the tank, you can see there's 2 lids for openings, and of course the lamps lying across the top of the tank for illumination.
We'll go ahead and remove the lids, clean them, and put them off to the side for use later on.
Now I did say the first step was to get the fish out of the tank. But in reality, the first step is to get that clean water out of the tank for the fish. Once we've got that water out of the tank, we want to remove the decorations because those are simply obstacles to get in the way of the net. Or the fish can hide behind there and evade you. So we've got the clean water. We'll move that off to the side. We're going to bring a box in to put the dirty coral decorations and the rocks in the box and get those out of the way. We can then much more easily collect the fish. Takes care of the coral decorations. We can now start on the rock decorations. Okay, that's it for the coral, or the rock decorations. We'll now come back and collect the fish. So the first fish should be fairly easy to catch. This large longhorn cowfish. And as you can see, Mr. Longhorn Cowfish has safely made it down into the bucket. There's a pair of percula clowns, a butterfly fish,
and then there's the damselfish, sometimes the most difficult fish to catch.
Alrighty, so we now have the sump pump hooked up, and we're going to drain or pump the water out of the tank to the toilet. So let's go ahead and plug that in and get started. So while the water is being pumped out of the tank, we're going to go ahead and take our scooper and start scooping the gravel into the styrofoam box. Well, as you can see, we've got all the water out and just about all the gravel. So we'll finish scooping up the rest of that gravel. Now the scooper may work for the large stuff, but I may end up having to get my net in there to kind of clean up the stuff on the bottom. But that was a pretty quick drain of the tank.
Join us again for part 2 as we disassemble the equipment out of this half-wall aquarium system.